Hello, hello, everybody. My name is George. I'm the founder and at Parker. Uh, Welcome. I'm glad that you are here with us now. We're gonna just wait a few moments before starting our webinar about our licensing program and how you can bring the Pet Parker business to your community. So we're starting to see people joining. While we connect and during our webinar. Also, feel free to share your questions on our chat here on the side of your screen on the right side that we're going to be taking a Q&A by the end of the webinar. Okay. Also, let us know in the chat where are you watching us from. Would be very nice to see the pet community and how far are we reaching out to you. So once again, welcome everybody. My name is George. I'm talking from Brazil. We see here folks from Canada, from Florida, Santiago. So welcome everybody. Um, as you know, we're going to give you an overview about our licensing program and how can you bring the PetParker business to your community and help us to expand pet safety and well-being and happiness among pet owners. Um, we also have a special guest here with us today that we're going to be joining our webinar. Um, so first of all, I think it's is a useful information to give you an overview about global pet market trends. Okay, it's a booming market that has been on the rise for several years. It got special media attention during the pandemic that we saw a very significant shift in pet ownership and consumer behavior. But nevertheless, is a market that has been growing consistently for several years. Estimates says that we got around 1 billion pets all over the world right now. The estimates is that this market is it's around 250 billion US dollars, with the top markets being the United States, China, Brazil, and United Kingdom. Especially the United States has been the lead market for a long time, and it's very interesting how China has been very consistently growing this its position in the global pet market, and this shows how worldwide we are experiencing a change in consumer behavior that drives difference in pet ownership. So according to research, 95% of people consider their pets as part of the family, right? And so do I, and so do we here in PetParker. And we see that this change has been driven basically for a few different socioeconomic changes that have been happening uh, in different pace in different countries and different culture, but it's been established consistently, mostly out of the world, right? So people are having people are uh, waiting more time to get married and to consist and to have children. So young generation start usually getting a pet before getting married and before getting a kid, deciding to have a baby. Um, Also, people are having less children, as we know, and pets are kind of filling out the space of having no more than one or two children in the family. And also, we see that elderly people are replacing sort of the children that go out of the house once they're adults and they leave the home. They're getting pets for companionship and to develop this emotional connection with them. And also we have we understand that there are several benefits of this growing pet ownership. For example, increase in physical activity. If you have a pet, you gotta take them out, you gotta walk them, you gotta be more active than you probably were, and also mental health benefits. Um, at the same time, and this is where the pet parker business and category started. Um, we know that there are millions of pets worldwide that get kidnapped or stolen every single year. Okay, the numbers they're not very consistent because mostly this kind of crime is underreported, but we have been seeing consistently growth in such problems and worldwide. This happened here in Brazil, unfortunately. And when we started the company, and actually is I think worth is a story that worth commenting on. Um, Pat Parker started because I was walking with my both dogs. I got two Labradors, black Labradors. I was walking with them, crossed by a supermarket. Remember that I gotta buy some stuff, and was lazy and didn't want to go all the way back home to uh, to leave them and then go back to the supermarket, right? Probably you've been into this situation and you know you've seen people in this situation. And I tied them up in the storefront, and they got loose, and I almost lost them. And this is how Pet Parker started, right? Um, and I started a research and discovered that this is a global problem, not only regarding kidnapping and robbery of dogs that usually goes to resale for pennies, right? But also accidents regarding unattended pets on stores. So we got a few examples and also examples on legislation, right? That more and more countries are making illegal for pet owners to leave pets unattended tied up in a storefront. For example, as we see here, for the latest that we got is the example from Spain in the beginning of this year. Um, so this is what PetParker is all about, right? We want to promote and make available to pet owners to go out and enjoy life, enjoy more moments together with their pets. We know that everybody has a very busy life, right? And for legal reasons, local reasons, business reasons. Most of the businesses that we go in a daily basis do not allow pets to come inside. So, like myself, as I just mentioned, that I need to go inside a supermarket and couldn't with my pets. Millions and millions of people face this problem, and what they end up doing, they go and leave the pets alone at home, and they don't enjoy and they don't spend as much time as they could, as they want with their pets together, or they leave them at risk, tied up in the storefront, or even worse, inside the car, right? um, so right now, PetParker, our network, we have over 250 locations that we serve, both in Brazil and Canada. And going places together is the best way that we could come up with a tagline that really express our goal, right? We want people to be able to enjoy more and more time together with their pets, with their loved ones, and don't have to put the pets in risk to do that, and don't have to leave them alone. As I mentioned, all around the world, we are noticing more and more these kind of situations. Probably you've been in this situation, or you know someone that has been into this situation, right? And our focus here is to solve this problem and to address this growing demographic, this growing shift in culture all around the world, so we can provide quality of life to pet owners and pets. So, how it works, right? How PetParker works. We have a proprietary fifth generation IoT platform that consists in our smart station, as you see here on screen. Probably you have seen before in our social media if you're not here from Brazil or Canada. It's a safety pod that holds the pet, and I'm going to get into details soon about it. Uh, it is operated by the user, right, on our mobile app. Very similar, probably in your region, you already use the electric scooters, for example, that you can use them by the app using the QR code, or bike sharing systems. So is the same idea. The user can safely use and access the PetParker safety station through our app. You can look it up, the locations that offer the PetParker to you, and use the app to unlock it. And also you can monitor it by the camera there is inside. You can see the temperature. You can see how long your pet has been there. Okay. um, and also we have a real-time monitoring system that monitors each and every single station, if it's in use, how long, what's the temperature, what's going on, to ensure the safety, the well-being of the pet. Um, the service is free to use by the user. So it's a simple sign up, and you're ready to go. And is an amenity, a service provided by the shop, by the business, by the facility to their customers, to bring their customers on the door, to bring their customers and make them happy about taking care of their pets. Um, our PetParker station uh, is an IoT device that's been 100% developed by PetParker. As mentioned, we are in the fifth generation, so it's a proven and reliable piece of technology. It's been used by more than 100,000 pets by now with no incidents. Um, and at the same time, it's very simple to be operated and to be maintained. It has antimicrobial treatment to ensure the safety of the pet. You got electronic lock, you got inside camera, you got an inside automatic fan to regulate temperature as well. You can monitor the temperature, and is as big as it needs to be to host comfortably bigger bigger pets such as Labradors, as myself, uh, golden retrievers, the most common pets that we got in big cities, right? Um, there are a wide sector opportunity for PetParker service. So these are a few examples of where we business that we serve, such as supermarket, shopping malls, pharmacies, offices, but really anywhere people visit, there is an opportunity to PetParker. We are a new category worldwide, right? So PetParker now is the leading company. Despite us, we're in the beginning of our history, and we are not a big company, but we are the leading platform globally. And each day, each week that passes, we see a different use case. We got reached out by a different segment, different kind of business, telling that they have customers that go on there with pets, and they need to serve these customers. They need a solution like PetParker to serve this customer. So there is a very wide business opportunity for that, and it's growing. So I believe each and every one of you that live in different communities, different kind of cities and towns, different cultures, will find different kind of business that need PetParker to help their customers. Um, so what is our business model, right? I mentioned that the service is free for the user. Our user are the pet owner. So how do we stand as a business? How it works our business? So we have a B2B business model, right? That we serve both retailers, as I mentioned, supermarket, drugstores, and we provide the reduction of liabilities to this business. So you won't have to worry about accidents, about thefts, about fines, about dog napping, and so on. And also, you provide a better shopping experience to your customer. So this increase traffic, this increase the time that the consumer spends inside your shop. It also is good for the shop branding, right? People are more and more aware of what the companies and the business stands for and what kind of experience and values they have. So this shows the consumer that you value the pets as a family member, and you want to provide safety, and you want your consumer to be able to spend more time together with their pets. And besides serving uh, retailers, we also monetize on advertisement. So as you can see here, we have an example of an advertisement for dog food that we wrap around our equipment. with advertisement, sponsorship, media in general. So we have basically two two revenue streams that comes from our business. How our licensing program works, and here the idea is to give everybody a general overview of our licensing program. Okay, and everybody that is interested in knowing more and getting deeper information, we're gonna schedule a one-on-one meeting with my team and myself, so we can understand and answer specific and local questions. But here is a very wide overview on how our licensing program works. Okay, so when you become a PetParker licensee, what will you get? Um, PetParker will provide to you what we call our business platform. So, how do you sell PetParker service? How do you operate PetParker service? How do you find customers? What are the value propositions for each customers? How are you going to price your service? What go-to-market strategies do you need to thrive in PetParker business? Also, what are the skills that you need to be able to operate and grow and have a profitable business as a licensee? Also, we provide the whole technology platform. So you're going to get the equipment, the safety station that works worldwide with our app. So you don't have to worry about developing an app, maintaining an app. So it's a turnkey service, and any user, for example, that goes from Brazil to visit Canada, and they got PetParker in Canada, it's going to be able to use the same app. So this gives a very reliable and scalable business in your hands. Also, you're gonna be the rights to explore PetParker brand that makes a difference, and it's going to be also one testimony that we're going to bring here on how it helped to generate business and to get marketing, and also you're going to get training to know how to operate and how to develop your business as a PetParker licensee. So who are the licensees that we are looking for, and what kind of skill do you gotta be to be a PetParker licensee? So first of all, of course, you gotta love pets, right? If you don't like pets, you don't know the hurdle. If you don't love pets, you don't know how it's like to be worried about leaving your pet alone at home, or don't spending as much time as you want with your pet, or living in danger and be fear of having your dog stolen, and so on. So you gotta love pets. You gotta have an entrepreneurial mindset. Um, Sales skills are basically the number one and number two skills that you gotta have to operate a PetParker business. Of course, you gotta love people, because when you're talking about pets, you're talking to another human that love their pets, and it's wants to take care of it. So it's important to know about people. When you talk about licensing program, basically we have three tiers of licensees. Okay, you can get a city license when you will be able to operate within your city. You can purchase a state province license depending on your country, on your region, and you can have a country license. For state and country license, it is necessary to go deeper in financials and to show the financial ability to scale the business statewide or countrywide. Usually we deal with country license with larger investors or larger corporations. And for license, city license, usually we deal with single entrepreneur, kind of the business the professional that is looking for a model similar to a franchise, right? So what are the responsibilities and the roles of the licensee? The licensee will be responsible for local sales and marketing. So you're gonna have to find local business like supermarkets, like pharmacies, shopping malls, and so on, and be able to sell to this business our subscription, as well as to look for advertisers, for sponsors to sell our advertising program. This is going to depend which strategy is the best, and then this is a conversation that we go deeper in further meetings. But this depends on the licensee background expertise, the licensee connection network, and where the licensee sees more opportunity. Also, it's responsible for client support and operations. So you're going to have to get the equipment, set up the equipment, deploy the equipment, and maintain it, and also manage the company, right? That comprehend the activities that I mentioned, but is the general management of a company as any other company. What I can tell you about it on what is a pro on PetParker licensing program, if you're gonna compare with, and the PetParker license business per se, if you're gonna compare it with a franchise business, for example, for a food franchise business. If you got a franchise business for a sandwich brand, for example, you're gonna need to rent retail space. You're gonna have to invest in remodeling the space. This is going to take a few months, right, to rent and to remodel until you're gonna be open. You're gonna be ready to actually open it. Once you have it open, you need inventory. You got food that expires. You need a lot of staff that you need to run the store. So it a more complex operation and a more capital intensive operation, right? In PetParker business, once to operate the business, you don't need a physical location. You got a very lean operation system that most likely the licensee himself will be able to operate it. And the technology will do most of the work for you. In our revenue model, we got different target sectors that we tackle when we talk about subscription and sponsorship. So right now, by our experience, the most successful sectors that you will be able to sell are supermarkets. So here we already serve the largest supermarket brands in the country. Also, shopping malls has been perceiving a very high value on our service. Another great sector to tackle. Pharmacies, another great sector to be tackled. Convenience stores are not, in our experience here in Brazil, we don't have much convenience store. Is is not as popular as it is in other parts of the world, like in Asia, for example, or the US, but is the same dynamic of a supermarket kind of. So definitely is a very strategic sector to be looked at. Um, Also, public spaces like train stations, airports, parks, public markets. All right. For sponsorship, basically, you can look at big business and corporations such as bank, insurance, telecom, uh, financial service. Uh, the example that is very good to look when you talk about branding and advertisement is the kind of companies that sponsor uh, bike sharing systems, for example. Like in New York City, you got Citibank sponsoring the bike system in New York City. In London or Barcelona, I guess you got Santander Bank also sponsoring. So this kind of big companies that they are invest in branding and they want to give back to the community, and they have to develop this kind of relationship. And what is interesting about our service, that is an active way of branding, right? Because you're giving your consumer, and you're telling everybody that you're giving the consumer safety for your pet, quality of life, and so on. So it's much different, and aggregates a lot of value on that. um, Investment overview. So, as mentioned, we're not able to give specifics here because we gotta understand each specific case. But basically, when to become a licensee, regarding investment, you're gonna have initial investment on the license fee that will depend whether you're gonna go with a city license, a state license, what the size of your market, and so you got a setup fee. The setup fee consists in everything that is needed for you to have the technology platform up and running, ready to go to operate in your region. Um, it can also, if it's not available, comprehend, for example, getting a translation and everything that is needed, and also training. So there is some hours that you're gonna get training about, and of course, material brochure on training on how to set up the business, sales strategy, operations strategy, how to operate, and the technology itself, and of course logistics, how to get the equipment into your location. Once you're set up, you have two um, two costs that comes to maintaining your operation. You have royalties on revenue, fairly simple, and you got a system fee that you got to get your equipment up in the network. That's going to be constantly updated, the firmware, and so on. So the any support, any update that you get, for example, on the app, if Android or iOS get updates and need any changes to be done on the app or in any part of the software, for that matter, it's you don't have to worry about it. We keep the software always up to date, and this cost is covered by the system fee. We don't have any other fees, any other costs for you to run your PetParker business, right? We don't have marketing fees. We don't have anything like it. Um, what are the expected returns? So, looking in the past years for uh, the operations that we have going on. Our profitability is ranging between 60 and 70%, and you got a payback on your investment between 14 to 23 months. Okay, once you get this up and running. Um, so before we jump into the Q&A, I want to invite to join our transmission our licensee from Canada, Adi Cabazo, to also share his experience that he's having with us so far, with with the PetParker business, and our our uh, our technology and experience. Just a second here. I'm trying to find how do I share. Adi is already on. Let me put him. Okay, I found him. Hey, Adi, can you hear me? Hey, Adi, can you hear me? Okay, let me put you here online. There we go. Let me just get double check with the team that you're on. Okay, great. So welcome, Adi. Thank you so much for joining us. We got here people, I think, from all over the world. I see people from Chile, from the US, Florida, Denver, I think Texas as well. So we all might have potential partners to our network to bring PetParker business and PetParker benefits for pet owners and business as well. And as you are our first international licensee that has been operating for a while, I thought would be very helpful and important to get you up here and be able to listen to your testimony about how has been your experience with PetParker so far, and what kind of advice or what kind of a point of view you're able to share with our audience today. Adi, Adi, I just got a message that your audio is not going through. Just a second. Let me see. Maybe I did something wrong here on sharing. My apology, guys. Let me see something. Okay, just a second. I just figure out what I'm doing wrong. Okay, there you go. Please,
Let's see.
yeah, please give it a try. See if it's working right now.
Okay. Maybe somebody on the chat can say that they can hear me
Oh
now.
yeah, I'm in contact with our team here
Phenomenal. Okay.
okay,
Great.
well,
I'll start over. Well, great to be here. Thanks for a very thorough overview of the market and the PetParker solution. Our experience in Canada certainly validates that the opportunity is enormous. The gap in the market with regards to the experience that pet owners have, given that so many people feel very strongly about their companions, take them places, including places that they're not allowed, which forces them to leave them outside on the sidewalk or in a vehicle. So no doubt that this is very, very much needed solution. And in our experience here in Canada, we're certainly getting a lot of that positive adoption from the market. And when we say market, we really need to consider that just like you mentioned earlier, bike sharing and scooter rental services, um, we need to build two markets at the same time: the businesses that host and pay for the service, and the consumers, the pet owners that use the service. So we're building those at the same time, and certainly the accolades, the feedback that we're getting are just is just enormous. Of course, the pet owners are the ones that are more vocal. They love the solution. They use it on a rather frequent basis. Also, a lot of the things that you experienced in Brazil, we're validating here in Canada. People do spend more time in the store. They're now relaxed. They can buy what they need. They're not in a hurry. They go there more frequently. We also survey them, and they respond that they prefer to go to those places that have PetParker. Everything just really confirms the value of the solution. Um, However, saying all that, it is a new solution. It's a game changer, and it requires, requires sales and marketing, requires, an investment of time, but things are moving ahead, and every day that passes, indeed, we monitor them through the management system. We can see the use. We can see how much time people are spending with their pets in the stations. Therefore, are inside the store. We're getting the feedback of things that are working, things that need improvement. It's part of building a business, but very exciting time for if you're interested in running a business that is, for the most part, ready to go. Like, the technology is built, the solution is built, the model works, and you're passionate about the pet industry and you love animals. This is a phenomenal opportunity.
thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
I was going to I'm going to get inside the Q&A part, but if you're okay with it, I'm going to keep you up. So maybe you can help me also
Perfect.
if something comes up, and you can complement on the answers, right? So um, our team gather a few questions that we're getting on the WhatsApp, and also a few questions that we've got on by email for prior on subscription, right? So here we got the first question from London. Okay, what is the best way to start in a new region, and how many stations do I need? What kind of business do we serve? And what exactly is the business model? Okay, so I think we were very clear about the business model on the presentation, but just to make sure, is a B2B business model. Okay, So
Great.
the user, the pet owner. So here inside PetParker, we have two different terms for two different stakeholders. When we call users, are pet owners, the one that got the app in their hands, are going to use the service. When we talk about customer clients, we're talking the businesses that are paying for our service. Um, so our business model, you have two revenue streams, potential revenue streams. You are going to sell subscription for retailers such as supermarkets, shopping malls, and so on. Our subscription model is a 12-month, 1 year subscription plan that the business subscribes, or 2 years. And of course, this can be adapted locally. The sales strategy itself and also the pricing is determined by the licensee. So we don't know, and this is one of the reasons and the positive parts of the license program, because you're going to have a different market and price sensitivity in New York City and London. Going to be two different countries, two different regions. So we no one better than the licensee to know what is the best pricing to get in his region. Here, we're not going to tell you must do this price or that price. Okay, so you're gonna sell a subscription plan to this business, and also you're gonna sell advertisement for offline advertisement animation in the side of the equipment for big business and also small business. So here we have both experience. So we serve, for example, Nestle. There's a huge multinational company. We serve Heineken. There is a beverage company, and also we serve local, for example, local animal hospitals, right? That have one unit. So this, what we do, what we provide is a strategy overview on how the business must be run, how the service must be priced, and you as a licensee is going to analyze which one of the markets you're going to tackle first, what's going to be your go-to market strategy, how you're going to price it, how you're going to deal with customers, and so on. So the best way to start in a new region is to understand first, where do you have the experience? Have you been working in the retail industry, or have you been working in the marketing and advertisement industry? Maybe you have contacts in any of potential clients, right? If not, what are the sectors that you feel in your region that would benefit the most for PetParker service? For by our experience, usually the first two markets to be tackled is our supermarket and shopping malls, shopping centers, right? This has been proven the same in Canada. Maybe it's the same in your region, maybe it's not. We don't know. This is something that you're going to find out. But first is what competitive advantage you're going to have on any market. Rather, it can be because you have contacts, you have a network on the market, you have previous experience, you're still working on one of the markets, or you can see what are the routine of your community, and you see where it's going to benefit the most. How many stations do you need? So this is not a straightforward question. This depends a lot on the size of your city. How many inhabitants do you have? What's the how the pet population looks like? But what I can tell for sure is that you need to start with enough number that people notice, right? Because you're rather going to have to do one of two things. Or you start with enough equipment that user and people are going to notice the service is in town. If you don't do that, you're gonna need to invest in marketing, right? But it's much more effective to invest in equipment and put the equipment out there for people to interact with it and people use it and talk about it, than to invest in marketing. But you only have a small number of equipment, and then people cannot find the service, right? So this is a conversation that needs to be taken case by case, and of course, we help with that. I don't know, Adi, if you have
Yeah, yeah.
anything to add on that.
Yes, absolutely. I can confirm that point exactly. And when we started, so not everybody can travel to Brazil to bring back demo units on the plane, but that's what I did. We brought the first demo units with me. Uh, it can be done, but at some point you want to bring in your first shipment, and you also need to consider the logistical cost of doing that. So bringing a handful of them might not be cost effective. We chose to bring 30 stations to begin with, given our initial market, which is the metro area of Vancouver and British Columbia. The idea was, let's bring enough to have some density, and then we can we can put out those stations at various locations, supermarkets or people that we know outside the storefront. Even if we're not charging money, they are for demonstration. People see them. It's a conversation topic. These the stations are quite visually attractive, and we see countless people just stopping, taking photos, sharing on social media. So that's how you get the buzz going in the pet owner community. Of course, that's also a segment that you need to develop, whether it's going through to different events and things like that. So pet owners are familiar with it. They download the app. They start trying it out. Yeah. So we started with 30 stations. Doesn't mean that you have to, but that was something that was, and then you get them ready and fully assembled to deploy.
Great. So we have here a question on the chat, if it is available in the US. So yes, it is available in the US right now. We are able to supply worldwide, right? So anywhere that there is pet lover customers and someone interested in developing a PetParker business, we're able to serve. In the US specifically, regarding this question, we think is a phenomenal market. There is a phenomenal market opportunity. The US, of course, is an enormous market, and Americans love pets, love their pets. So we are we were very excited once we started working with Adi, because we know that Canada and the US, they offer they have some similarities regarding customer behavior and market dynamics, and we were looking forward to be able to launch PetParker in the US as well, and we'll be more than happy to connect on a one-on-one meeting to getting more into more details with it. Here, let takes that I'm already on the chat. Another does the licensee purchase the PetParker station? So yes, when you get your licensee, you're gonna choose how many stations you're going to purchase. You don't have to manufacture, to develop anything locally. So as Adi also mentioned, all the technology and the product is ready to go, right? It's kind of make an order. You're gonna be trained on how to operate and how to maintain and to run the equipment. It's fairly simple. Of course, it needs some instruction, it needs some training, but we've developed the equipment, so there is no need to have any technical education to be able to operate it and to have a fairly simple operations. Also, Adi, please, it would be very helpful to hear your experience your experience on handling the equipment if it's working as I am describing.
Yes, indeed. One of the key elements here in the solution is that it was the stations themselves were built for high reliability, so it allows you to basically scale a network without a lot of resources. It's not you need a lot of technical staff or engineers or whatnot. From the installation, it's pretty much what you would call turnkey. Once the station is assembled, put installing it in front of a store should take minutes. Um, you don't even need to use the Wi-Fi that is available at the store. You can use a cell network because each one of those stations has connectivity to cell, the optional connectivity to cell network. Um, Basically, all you need is a power outlet and space, preferably in the shade or inside. But that's it. And then on the ongoing basis, these are very reliable. Of course, they need to be cleaned regularly, so that is an operational task that you own, at least in the beginning. Of course, in Brazil, there also have different models of operation where, in some cases, you want to offload that to the customer. They already might have janitorial staff. I'm going into the details there, but there's lots of ways to build a flexible business that suits your lifestyle, your resources, but it is a business that can be run eventually at scale and even as a side business.
Great, Adi. I'm gonna combine two questions here. One that we have on email, and one I just saw in the chat. They're basically the same idea. So, what does it take to run the PetParker operation? How many people do I need? Do I need to hire people? So. Of course, this is going to depend on on the scale that you're operating, right? And also the service model that you're working is with. As Adi mentioned, in the service offer, basically you can have the option to do the cleaning and maintenance yourself as PetParker, or you can offer the service without this option, and the client will run the cleaning if they already have cleaning staff. Usually, big stores they already have it, and this is of course is going to be priced on your service. Um, if you rather you got the service the cleaning service on your model or not is a fairly simple process and fairly quick. I would say that it wouldn't take more than 10 minutes to service a unit, like probably less than that. Mm, you can definitely run it by yourself. We depending on the traffic, we recommend you to be serviced once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. So it's not an intensive, very intensive service. Of course, it might vary, so it must be watched case by case. Um, so if you're running by yourself, or if it is a side business, until you have, and I'm sharing here by experience here in Brazil, until you have maybe 50 locations, even 100, you like one people can take care of it, considering you're in the same city, right? I don't have very large dislocation. It's it's a fairly simple operation. Okay, and by that, it's a very non-expensive operation as well. Uh, and how does the unit, the station work? So someone can steal it, someone can damage it, and so on. So it might not look by the picture that you saw, and especially if you never if you never see one in person. But the equipment, the PetParker safety station is very robust. It is made out of steel. So once you're in place, when you install it in your retailer, you bolt it into the ground. The equipment was designed and is manufactured to be bolted into place 24/7, in the sun, in the rain, by day, by night. It doesn't matter. It's like a kind of a public bench. It is there, and it's sturdy. It's gonna be there, rather the conditions. When the only situation that we usually do not bolt it into the ground is when it's in an enclosed space. So, for example, a shopping mall, you have 24/7 security, locked doors, so it's not necessary to bolt it to the ground. And especially shopping malls, they have a fancy floor. They don't want you to make holes on it, so that's fine.
Yes.
From all the time they've been operating in different regions, different kind of neighbors, different neighborhoods, different kind of places, both in Canada and Brazil, we have never had any equipment stolen. So there was never an issue. We're pretty confident that it's a safe environment. What kind of language do you support? So right now we support English, Portuguese, and Spanish. If you are a licensee outside of this, uh, uh, that speak another language rather than that, we also will provide it, and this will be detailed on the setup fee. The only exception to that is not actually an exception, but is a different model, is in Asian countries, that we require the licensee to provide us with the translation. So we will deliver the app in the local language. But for example, in Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and so on, because is a very different language for us, we will provide the assets in English and require the licensee to give us back the translation. So we're gonna input the exact translation provided into the platform. But uh, anyway, you will always get a turnkey solution, right? It doesn't matter where you are, where do you live, what kind of language do you need. You will not have to invest any time developing software, putting your hands into software, anything like it. Even if you want, we will provide even a website, full website for you. So even in terms of marketing assets, if you like, you will be able to get a live PetParker, according to your region, website that you're gonna run. Um, Let me see. How about safety of the pets inside the stations? Any issues on that? Okay, great. So we have right now over 100,000 pets that use our system, that use PetParker, and we have never ever had one single problem. Safety, pet safety is our number one concern, and everything that is that was invested and that is invested so far to get in the fifth generation of the platform, the first step was always to look up into um, the pet's going to be safe, the pet is going to be comfortable, this is a reliable product. So no worries about it. We never had anything like it. um, the unit have, as I mentioned, antibacterial finish. We never experienced any kind of issue regarding health, any kind of issue regarding safety. You can rest assured about that 100%. I got any comments on that, Adi?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's in Canada. We've been running probably around 6 months now. Over, I think we're around 2,500 sessions. No incident whatsoever, no safety incident. People do ask us how can, can my dog get stolen? Of course not. It's. I mean, only you can open the station once it's in session. And you should also know that the management, the monitoring uh, system that we have gives you alerts of anything that is um, abnormal, like if the station has been used for too long, if the door was left open, if the store manager used a key. I think that's a feature that we don't typically talk about, but people do ask, what happens if there's a power outage and people can't take their dogs out. Well, the store managers have a backup key for that situation. And also, a couple of times people's phone battery died and they couldn't open. We can open it remotely for them. All these things, in a sense, what I want to convey is PetParker in Brazil has been running for almost 5 years now, 100,000 times. Canada about 6 months, another couple thousand times. Lots of experience, lots of continuous improvement in terms of safety, in terms of features, in terms of the robustness of the technology. This is not something that was just came to market yesterday and still has lots of issues and bugs. Not to say technology always has issues, but this is a very, very reliable solution.
Great. And I think adding up on top of that, we great that you brought up the security key, right? So make sure it's clear if you got some problem with power, some problem with the user smartphone. There is a safety key that the store has and will be able to open. So there is no scenario where the pet's going to be locked up there and won't be able to be out. There is a question here about cleaning and how often. And we mentioned this a few questions before, but one thing that this and I think this happens with you also, the very often question. People ask, "Oh, if the dog pees inside, what happens and how often does this happen, and so on." This happens very, very, very few times, right? We when developing the platform, we have the assistance of veterinarians and pet behavior professionals that help us understand the pet behavior to make sure that this was actually an environment that the pet would be safe and feel comfortable, right? Despite of the unit being being like good looking and being nice, the dog is not interested in that, right? So the way it is designed is to focus on also dog behavior, right? And one of the dog behaviors that we rely on is that they do not do their biological necessities in an enclosed environment. Of course, this can happen eventually, and the equipment is prepared to deal with that. But this is very tiny amount of times that this happens, and doesn't affect the scalability of the service, and doesn't affect the operations.
100%. I confirm that. It's one of the first questions I asked Georges when we started, and I can confirm that in over 2,000 times that the stations have been used here in Canada. By the way, when you say the equipment is ready to handle it, there's a raised kennel floor built into the stations. That's how we deal with if a dog urinated in it. We had only 2 situations where we saw traces of that over 2,000 times. So it's 1 in 1,000, maybe less. The bigger the numbers are. But these are extreme. Maybe a pet was stressed out or something like that. And by the way, in Canada, we allow up to 1 hour stay, and the average is about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. So the chances of a pet that had the opportunity to do its biological necessities, as you called it, before coming in, and then for the duration of that time, and it's not part of their typical behavior. These stations are very clean, very sanitary, and of course we take care of them regularly.
Great. We're running out of time, so I'm gonna take the last question. But meanwhile, please, anyone that have any questions, our team just shared the link for a form. So if you want to get more information, if you want to get with us on a one-on-one meeting to get details on your region, please fill up this form, and we will be in touch with you. So the last question here is about how many hours do I have to commit into this business? This can PetParker be a side business, and what the requirements. So again, the number one requirement is being prone to sales, right, Adi? I think this is like, other than that, every other aspect of the business is fairly simple. Is almost like if you had real estate and you're renting real estate, right? It's there, and you're getting you invested to put the real estate there, and you're getting a rent out of it, kind of. So the number one skill and number one commitment that you must have as a licensee is on sales, is to get your units out there in clients with revenue. Yes, you can do that as a side business, especially if you're starting with not many units. And again, once you're running, we have experience from clients that run annual contracts, they already renew the contracts for the third time, for example. So once the sale is made, it's recurring revenue, and then your operational load is fairly light. So you could definitely run this as a side business. Again, and we are very upfront about it, because our goal to get anyone into our network is to have success on it. So the number 1 and 2 and 3 in your priority list is sales. Anything other than that, again, product, technology, operation, how to run the business, this is all figured out. This is working here with us for a long time with different size of clients, different size of different kind of sectors. Also, the same experience validated in Canada. So Canada right now they serve big supermarket chains, big shopping mall groups, also small business. So the operation, the day to day part of the business, you can definitely handle as a side business if you have another business or you got a job or you got a partner that you want to share this business with. This is definitely doable, and you can have success with this as well. I don't know. Did you have any final comments that you like to put up?
No, that's exactly the model, and that's the goal. That's where you want to be at. You didn't, you're not taking this on to devote, ultimately, 100% of your time. But maybe in the beginning it will require more investment. You just have to build it in your projections, especially if you're taking over a large region, be it a country like in my case, then it does take more time. But once it's running and you're getting the locations, it's very much like a real estate business, as you mentioned.
Thank you, Adi. So I would like to thank everybody who stayed here. If you want to watch again, if something passes by and you don't remember, this link is gonna be live and it's gonna be available in our YouTube channel. I also invite everybody to keep in touch and follow us in our social media accounts. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find news about us also in LinkedIn, in our LinkedIn profile, in our Instagram, TikTok. We're all over except X because we're not very active on X. But besides it, you can keep in touch with us in any of our social media. Please do that. If anyone wants to know more about local opportunities and dig deeper, we'll be again very happy to jump in a one-on-one meeting. Please contact us on our form that here on chat. Also, you can check more information in our website. Thank you very much. We're talking from people all over. So for some of you, the day is starting. For some of you, the day is ending. Again, thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.